So let's talk about it, the elephant in the room. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechWhat Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Friday. Before you even do anything, you need to make sure that you smash the like button if you want me to continue to make these oversold videos, and make sure that you consider subscribing. Snapchat is down 23%. Just imagine, let's say that you have $100,000 in your bank account, right? That's your valuation, that's your net worth. Imagine waking up the next morning and just wiping out 23,000 of that 100,000. What? 23%. Snapchat's market cap valuation dropped under 100 billion. But why? The whole reason I make these videos are not just to talk about oversold stocks, but to also share with you what caused this stock to drop. And one of the main reasons, first off, Snapchat reported earnings yesterday, right? As we're entering earnings season. This is one of my favorite times of year, not to be invested in these stocks, but to wait for something like this to happen. Let me just show you very quickly. On the day chart, the thing that I find so attractive about Snapchat is that it's been super bullish for the past year. Look at this, past year. Don't you like investing in companies that are bullish? Look at Snapchat. But because of this negative news, it pulled back. From where we're at right now, if Snapchat were to make a recovery to previous highs, that's 44%. But think about this. Snapchat is down 23% today. This is the day after they reported earnings. Snapchat can continue to sell off, which is why this should be very exciting for you. The goal is not to buy at the lowest price point, but the goal is to buy and invest when it's indicating signs of an uptrend, when the direction is in your favor. And that's what I'm most excited about. That's why it doesn't make sense to trade something right away or invest in something right away. This is when you add it to your watch list, an effective watch list, right? You remove all the clutter and you focus on 5 or 10 oversold stocks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. Oversold stocks, add it to my watch list, and then set effective alerts. I want to buy Snapchat when it begins to indicate signs of a recovery, or at least I want to really step on the gas on Snapchat when it begins to indicate signs of recovery. So why is it that it's sold off? Well, Apple, which is again, Snapchat is this application where I'm sure some of you guys might be aware of. You take pictures and you send it through a mobile device. Apple, being again very dominant in that space, released a new type of privacy policy that really messed up a lot of applications. And you might be asking, okay, well, is there a correlation on why Snapchat is down 23% after their earnings? But look at Facebook. They're down 5%. Look at Twitter. They're down 3%. What do all of these things have in common? Google, Pinterest, they've all pulled back. Snapchat yesterday released and shared that according to the new Apple policy for privacy protection for their users, an application can no longer track. There's a specific term for it, but the term means nothing to people like you and I, normies, right? That don't speak tech. But all this application does, or this privacy policy does, is that it restricts applications like Snapchat, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Google on an Apple device to track you off of third-party websites. Now, why is this useful for those social or online applications? How does Snapchat make money? How does Facebook make money? How does Twitter and Pinterest make money? How does Google make money? Ads. And if they can't track you and collect that data off of third-party websites, then they can't target you as aggressively for all the people that are pouring money into advertising on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Pinterest. It makes sense. Their targeting is not going to be as effective, which discourages businesses to market on those platforms. I mean, they're still going to, right? But this is an adjustment that Apple implemented that had an effect on the social marketing space. You can then now see why that can act as a negative catalyst for Snapchat, as they're the ones that released it and missed their earnings, or their EPS, earnings per share, but as well as I wanted to explain to you guys, and please look more into it, on why Pinterest, Twitter, Google, Facebook are experiencing a pullback today as well. Think about this, 5% for Apple to lose, that's a lot. Facebook. Facebook's market cap valuation is nearly at $1 trillion. Losing 5% is very significant, but it's because of what was shared. And my job, as what I take it as, right, is to share with you, I like oversold stocks. I love them. But I need you to understand why, not just on the technical aspect, but as well as on the fundamental side of what caused this negative catalyst and why are other tech stocks being influenced in a negative way. I hope that you smash that like button because I really feel like I earned it. And also, now what's my plan with Snapchat? I'm going to buy $5,000 worth of Snapchat today. That's my plan. The reason why is I normally invest with about $100,000, or I normally trade with about $100,000. 5,000 is about 5%, right? I want to have some skin in the game. I view Snapchat to be a good deal, but you need to put yourself in a position to succeed. And this is what I shared with the Learn Plan Profit group today. Me buying 5%, why am I buying 5%? Well, I want to have some money and some skin in the game, but I understand that Snapchat can still sell off. So this is why I want to have just a small portion, because if it sells off, I can tolerate that. It's like all the people complaining about AMC, right? They're all adults. They all have their big boy trading accounts, but guess what? All the people that bag hold AMC when it drops, what do? They blame everyone but themselves because they can't take accountability for their actions. Don't be those so-called people. Be an actual individual that takes accountability and only puts themselves in positions in which they can tolerate. It's like almost being an adult, right? It's like of what is expected of you. Do today what your future self will thank you for. If you are someone that cannot tolerate or manage risk when a stock is selling off, then don't buy a stock that is selling off. It's kind of like not rocket science, right? Just watch it, set effective alerts and watch it. And maybe once it begins to recover and actually indicates signs of a recovery, then it would then make more sense for you, right? It meets your criteria as a more conservative investor or trader. Be empowered to be your own person. Just because you can't buy the dip doesn't make you any better or any worse than anyone else. It just makes you selective, and there's nothing wrong with that. Put yourself in a position in which you can tolerate with what stocks you choose to trade, how risky they are, and your position size. So you don't end up looking like an absolute child blaming others for what is happening to you. You are the sole decision maker on what happens with where you choose to invest or trade your money. So make sure that out of all this opportunity, you are empowered to be selective. These are my last 2 cents with you. Days like this, when the market's pulling back a little bit, when there's stocks like this, are not days to aggressively throw money at things, but they're days to prepare. On my green days, I prepare for my red days, and on my red days, I prepare for my green days. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. I'm sure that we can all agree on that. I hope that it earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And also, again, you heard me talk about them in this video. They're the Learn Plan Profit Group. I trade live every single day. I'd love for you to join us on Monday at Market Open for our live trading session. And if you would like to join us, all you have to do is message me on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description of this video. Send me a message, live trading. I want to tune on Monday, and I will send you private access to our live trading session, and I will see you at Market Open. All you have to do is set your alarm and show up. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.